Today's video is Chapter 7, Lesson 7. We're going to talk about simple and compound interest. In general, the word interest is talking about money, and either this is money that you have to pay someone, or this is money that you're going to get from someone. And the reason you're paying or getting it is all because of a loan. So maybe you have loaned your friend some money and they're going to pay you back. Well, you would get it then. They're going to pay you back with interest, so you would get this interest. Maybe you take out a loan to buy a car. You have to pay the bank interest on that loan because they loaned you. So whoever loans the money gets to collect a little extra for loaning it to you in the first place. That's the whole reason you would loan it to somebody, is so that you can make money on your money. All right, I'm going to try to quickly and generally explain the difference between the two types, simple and compound. All right, let's suppose your grandma gives you $100 for your birthday. You're going to stick this $100 in the bank and draw interest off of it. The bank is going to pay you because you're loaning the money to the bank. So you're going to make some interest. So simple interest. After the first year, let's pretend that this earned $5. You now have $105 in your account. The bank paid you $5 for keeping this 100 in there. Year number 2, you have $105. They pay you $5 again. You have $110. The third year you keep it in there, you earn $5 more. You have $115. Every year you're going to make $5. Compound interest, on the other hand, first year you make $5. You have $105 so far, nothing is different. Second year, they're going to do the math using this new amount. So don't hold me to this. I'm just making up numbers to make a point. Maybe the next year they pay you $7.50. Now you have $112.50. Remember, if you did simple, after year 2 you were at 110. Now you're at 112. Year 3, you start with 112, and now they're doing the math. Maybe they pay you $10. You're at 122.50. Remember, simple interest at the end of that year, you were at 115. What simple interest is the same amount every year. Compound interest grows the amount that they're paying you because they do the math using the new number. Each of these types of interest has a formula how you find it out. Interest is equal to principal times the rate times the time. But this only tells us interest. It only tells us this column. This formula is going to tell us the final. They're going to jump straight from 100 to 122.50. They're not going to do all of the in-betweens, and it's going to tell us our final. Our B is going to stand for balance, our final amount. It's going to go ahead and calculate, and it's going to add in, it's going to do it all automatically to go straight from 100 to 122. This one is going to go from 100, and then this will give us $15, and we have to add it back to our 100. All right, so I've written it out. P stands for principal. The R stands for the rate. Okay, sorry. P is principal, which is our money. R is rate, which is our percentage rate. T is time, which is how many years we're leaving it in there. So the question will say, find the simple interest if you invest $2,000 at 4.5% for 2 years. So all we do is multiply those together. 2,000, we can't multiply percents, we have to hop 0.045 times 2. All right, so I've done the scratch work. I did 2,000 times 0.045. Remember, I just did 45 really times 2, and I counted 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, so my answer is 90. 90 times 2 is 180. If the question wants, what is the interest? The interest is $180. If the question wants, what is your total or final amount, then we're going to add it back. 2,000 plus our 180, $2,180. Remember, this formula is only giving us the interest. So if we give the bank $2,000 and the interest rate at that point is 4.5%, and we leave it in there for 2 years, they pay us $180 for nothing, just for giving them our money and letting it sit in the bank, letting them use it to make more money. All right, let's look at this question. If we know that you put $2,400 in the bank, you're going to leave it there for 5 years, and they're giving you $9.20 every month, we could work backwards to figure out what the rate is. We know that the interest, $9.20 each month. We know the principal. We know the time. We don't know the R. Now, the tricky thing about this is that the interest is $9.20 every month. When we do this, it's telling us what the interest is for the whole amount of time. So I think we're going to have to do a little math. We're going to have to do a little common sense. If this is every month, we're going to have to multiply it by 12 months and then take that number and multiply it by 5 years in order to figure out this interest. All right, so now I know what my I is, what my interest is. $9.20 a month times 12 months is this much per year. This much per year times 5 years is this. Okay, so our formula says the interest is equal to the money multiplied by the rate multiplied by the time. When I multiply 2,405, I get something really big. I get 12,000. 12,000 R equals 552. Now this is an equation where we can sing the silly song. Divide by 12,000, divide by 12,000, cross out, what's my answer? I did the scratch work off to the side, and I got 0.046. I put my 12,000 outside the house, my 552 in the house. I added a decimal and some zeros. This is not a percent yet. In order to make a percent, percent, I got to do some hopping. 2 times to the right, 4.6%. We did it. We did it. All right, let's do a compound interest question. B stands for the balance or the total. This is my money. This is my percentage. And this is the number of times that it's going to be calculated. Okay? So if my money is 600, that goes first. 1 plus the interest rate, 0.0875, because I have to hop backwards twice, I'm making it a decimal. My exponent, if they compound it annually, that means they do the math once a year for 2 years. So my exponent is going to be a 2, but they could compound it monthly for 2 years. Then what would my exponent be? Monthly for 2 years. Then I would have 24 as an exponent. So this is how many ever times they're doing the math. Annually means once a year for 2 years, two total times. So now I've got 600 times 1.0875 squared. I ended up with 1.18. It kept going, but I'm going to go ahead. What would be nice is just to leave it in your calculator, 1.18 whatever. Hit times 600. Final answer rounded for money is $709.59. Remember, this is my total. So how much interest did they give me? $109.59, because I started with 600. My total is 709, but the interest is 109. You have one question for this video, and that is to tell me which kind of interest is better, and tell me why you're picking that. What is your thought process for picking that type? Is simple interest better or compound interest better? All right, although any answer is good, simple interest is better if you're paying the loan back, but compound interest is better if you're putting your money in the bank and the one getting the money. All right, thanks for watching.